The headlines: the SSA removes garbage pile that has become a national scandal. Bajans give their views on spending this Christmas. And Kraigg Brathwaite says he's not listening to the Windies critics. Welcome to Nation News for Thursday, December the 17th, 2015. The Sanitation Service Authority has moved into Bucks in St. Thomas to clean up an area where illegal garbage was piling up. As it happens, Bucks is just minutes away from the national landfill at Mangrove Pond, but there are claims that garbage haulers are using the area to avoid paying a controversial waste disposal levy. The acting general manager of the Sanitation Service Authority, Rosalind Knight, was on hand and called for the enforcement of laws governing dumping. She said the heaps of garbage indicated Barbadians were becoming indifferent to the environment. Workers from the authority began their operation at about 10 o'clock and were expected to take much of the day to rid the area of trash. It was another frustrating day for the dozens of former National Conservation Commission workers at the Employment Rights Tribunal. The tribunal's hearing of their wrongful dismissal suit was abandoned for a second straight day, all because of the absence of the NCC's lawyer, Mitch Codrington. Chairman of the tribunal, Hal Gollop, called the delays unsatisfactory.
Like everything else, where discretions are observed or required, reasonableness is the key. Maybe it is time for Parliament to fill some of these lacunae in the Act, now that it has started to receive the scrutiny given by certain hearings. It is about time that some of these lacunae were addressed, and that is one of them. Because if the Commission if the Tribunal is to do its work, there cannot be this level of unreasonableness in respect of the parties involved. Notice I say the parties involved because it is the responsibility of the parties to see that their counsel are present.
More than $7,000 have been raised for the homeless by a young Rotarian who tested attitudes to vagrants by himself spending 24 hours on Broad Street last month. Nicholas Waif has spearheaded Homeless for 24, an initiative by the Rotary Club of Barbados to raise awareness of the homeless and poor in our society. A video of his stay on Broad Street has been posted on Facebook, the Faces Speak page, and amassed over 6,000 views in less than 2 days. The video was shot and edited by Damien Pender of New Visual Media. President of the Rotary Club of Barbados, Jetta Robinson, congratulated Mr. Waith on a job very well done. Bridgetown stores have been reporting good pre-Christmas sales, but some Barbadians are refusing to get carried away, as Nation News has been finding out.
It all depends on how the price and stuff of the things in that I want. Because this year, things are a little tough, as you can see. So you could only spend how you budget your account. So I won't be spending a lot. I will have to budget myself because January, another year.
Things have become very hard. Supermarket bill is high. Buying clothing is expensive, so I'm trying to reconsolidate my money and spend it where it's necessary.
Now, is Barbados a Christian society or not? It is a question some ask these days. For one Anglican priest, the answer is no. The Reverend Hugh Sandiford of the St. Matthias Church told Nation News that he is concerned that Barbadians are not practicing the Christian faith in enough numbers. He was responding to a question about the tradition of residents going to church at Christmas and the New Year.
We often say that we're a Christian society, but we both know that is not so. It is true to the extent when you think of the proliferation of churches and denominations, but when it comes to practicing what Christianity is all about, that's where we're falling down. So hopefully, having done this, we would have started to get at least the St. Matthias community to reorient its ideology so that they can once again come back to the Christian way of life. Because that's what it is. It is a way of life, not something you do only on Sundays.
For 25 years, the Barbados Union of Teachers has been hosting a Christmas party for retired teachers. More than 100 former teachers gathered at the union's Welchel St. Michael headquarters on Wednesday for the evening of food and entertainment. General Secretary of the BUT, Herbert Giddens, said that the event gave the retirees an opportunity to meet and share fellowship. In sport, Kraigg Brathwaite isn't listening to the critics who have savaged the West Indies cricketers. Nor, it appears, does he waste any time worrying about what the so-called experts say about the current state of Test cricket in the region. Speaking in Australia, he said he was motivated to go and perform, amid media commentary that the Boxing Day Test in Melbourne will be a no contest. Asked if he'd listened to any of the opinions in the press, Brathwaite, who had a good first test in Hobart, said no. The mood in the camp was upbeat, he insisted, in spite of a severe thrashing at the hands of the Australians in Hobart. And finally, law officers in Florida say a wife thought her husband was having an affair when she found a 22-year-old woman wearing his pajamas. Turns out the woman was just hiding from the law. A county sheriff's office said in a news release that Erin Rice slipped into the couple's home on Sunday after escaping from a deputy who had arrested her for shoplifting. They said she washed her clothes, showered, and took a nap. The Orlando Sentinel newspaper reports that when the 73-year-old woman first saw Rice, she thought her husband was cheating on her. The husband was playing golf. When he returned, he swore he'd never seen her before. Not knowing she was on the run, the couple drove Rice home. Later, they contacted the authorities, who arrested her. And that's Nation News for Thursday. For more news, log on to nationnews.com, as well as YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Remember to pick up your Weekend Nation on Friday or subscribe to our e-paper.